All right, welcome. In this explainer, we're going to break down the official blueprint for our mobile future. We're diving deep into how the next big thing, 6G, is actually going to connect with the networks we're all using right now. And this isn't just speculation. It's all coming straight from the 3GPP Technical Report 22.870. That's the rulebook that's setting the stage for everything.
So let's just get right to it with the question I know is on your mind. When 6G shows up, is your phone going to turn into a paperweight? I mean, what really happens to our whole 4G and 5G world? Are they just going to flip a switch and everything changes? Or is it going to be, well, something a little smoother?
Okay, Section 1, the 6G Integration Challenge. And it's a big one, because the world is already connected. You see, to even start thinking about the future, you've got to wrap your head around just how massive the present is. The big puzzle for 6G isn't just inventing cool new tech. Nope, the real challenge is figuring out how to stitch it into this enormous global digital blanket that we've already woven.
And I'm not kidding about the scale here. We're talking about trillions, with a T, trillions of dollars invested in the 4G and 5G networks we have today. And billions of devices. It's not just your phone. It's your car, your watch, your whole life that depends on this stuff every single day. So yeah, there's just no way you can turn all that off overnight. It's simply not an option.
All right, next up, the Golden Rule, which is all about seamless mobility and protecting your experience. See, because of that giant investment we just talked about, the folks designing 6G have, well, let's call it their prime directive. It's this one fundamental rule that shapes every single choice they make about making sure 6G plays nice with the networks we already have. And that Golden Rule, it all boils down to one little acronym, QoS, or Quality of Service. Now, that might sound super technical, but it's actually something you feel every single day. It's basically, how good is your connection? Does your video call freeze? Does that website take forever to load? Or is everything just snappy and perfect? That's QoS. And here it is, straight from the source. The 3GPP report says that any jump between 6G and an older network has to have minimum impact to the user experience. What does that actually mean for you? It means no dropped calls when you're driving, no sudden buffering wheel of death in the middle of a video, absolutely no lag you can notice. The whole point is that your phone just works perfectly. It doesn't matter if it's on 6G, 5G, or 4G. It has to be seamless.
Okay, let's move on to building the bridges connecting 6G to 5G and 4G. So now that we've got that golden rule in mind, everything has to be seamless. Let's look at how they're actually going to do it. 6G has to build two super important bridges to the past. And this isn't some fuzzy, we hope it works idea. Oh no, the report lays out some very specific rules. Check this out. Here are the two mandates side by side. On the left, it says 6G has to support moving to a 5G network. On the right, it says the same thing for 4G networks, what they call the Evolved Packet Core, or EPC. But look at the key word here, shall. In these engineering documents, shall isn't like should or could. It's a command. It means this isn't optional. It has to happen. That backward compatibility is an absolute requirement.
All right, next up, drawing a line. Goodbye, 3G. So here's where it gets really interesting. Because, while they're busy building these bridges to the future, they also have to make some tough calls about closing off old roads to the past. And believe me, the 6G plan is very specific about what it's leaving behind.
So we know the rule. 6G absolutely must connect to 5G and 4G. It's non-negotiable. That's how you keep things stable and make sure things don't break for, pretty much everyone on the planet.
But that brings up a huge question, right? Does it have to support everything? I mean, for the people designing these networks, it's a tough call. At what point does supporting the old stuff start to hold back the new stuff? You have to draw a line in the sand somewhere.
And here's that line in the sand, spelled out in black and white. It says, voice service continuity from 6G to legacy 3G networks shall not be supported. That's it. It's a hard no. They're specifically talking about the old way 3G handled voice calls called UTrans CS. This isn't an accident. It's a deliberate decision. They are officially cutting the cord and saying, 3G, your time is up. Okay, on to the next section. Essential services must continue. Now, just because they're ditching 3G doesn't mean it's the Wild West. Far from it. While they're sunsetting some old tech, the plan is also crystal clear about protecting a whole bunch of really critical services that run on the modern networks. So what exactly is being protected?
Well, you can think about it like this. First, there's all the public safety stuff. Things like mission-critical services for firefighters and police, general emergency services, and those public warning alerts you get on your phone. All of that is absolutely protected. Then there's the stuff we use every day. Good old SMS text messages, modern voice calls that use IMS, and of course roaming services. All of that is guaranteed to keep on working just fine as we move into the 6G world.
So, why do all these rules matter? Well, once you understand this strategy, building new bridges while carefully closing old roads, you start to see the whole picture. This isn't just a list of boring technical specs. It's a full-on blueprint for how the entire industry is going to smoothly transition into the age of 6G. Let's break it down. For the network operators, this plan protects the billions and billions of dollars they've already spent on 4G and 5G. For you, the user, it means your phone just keeps working. Your service stays reliable and high quality while all this upgrading happens in the background. And for the future of the technology itself, it creates a clear, predictable roadmap. We get to avoid the total chaos of a hard cutoff and instead have a nice, orderly evolution into a full 6G world.
And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. By laying out all these rules so early, is the industry just being smart and ensuring a smooth ride into 6G? Or is all this careful planning actually holding back a more radical, clean slate kind of innovation? I mean, are we getting a smooth evolution at the cost of a real revolution? That's the trade-off, isn't it? And how we answer that question is pretty much going to define the next 10 years of mobile tech.